the Black Bull of Norway. Norroway. Norway. Many a hunting song they sung, the song of game and glee, then turned to plaintive strains their tongue of Scotland's love of thee. To wilder measures next they turned, the black, black bull of Norway. Suddenly the tapers ceased to burn, the minstrels ceased to play. Written by the Count of Kildare by J. Layton. In Norway, Langside, there lived a certain lady, and she had 3 daughters. The eldest of them said to her mother, "Mother, make me a bannock and roast me a collop, for I'm going away to seek my fortune." Her mother did say, and the daughter gave way to an old witch washerwife, and told her purpose. The old wife bade her stay that day, and the gang to look out her back door, and see what she could see. She saw knocks the first day. The second day was the same, and she saw knocks. On the third day she looked again, and saw a coach and 6 coming along the road. She ran in and told the old wife what she saw. "Ah, well," quoth the old wife, "you's for you." Say, they took her into the coach and galloped off. The second doctor next says to her mother, "Mother, make me a bannock and roast me a collop, for I'm gone away to seek my fortune." Her mother didn't say in the way she guided the old wife and her sister had done. On the third day she looked out the back door, and a coach and 4 come along the road. "Ah, well," quoth the old wife, "yon's for you." Say, she took her in, and off they went. The third doctor said to her mother, "Mother, make me a bannock and roast me a collop, for I'm gone away to seek my fortune." Her mother did say, and away she gaed to the old witch wife. She bade her look out her back door and see what she could see. She did say, and when she came back she said she saw nought. On the second day she did the same, and saw nought. On the third day she looked again, and coming on back said the old wife, she saw nought but the muckle black bull coming roaring along the road. "Ah, well," quoth the old wife, "yon's for you." On hearing this, she was next distracted with grief and terror, but she was lifted up and set on his back, and away they went. Aye, they travelled and they travelled, till the late they grew faint with hunger. "Eat out on my red leg," said the black bull, "and drink on my left lug, and set by your leavings." Say, she did as he said, and was wonderfully refreshed. And long they gaed, and sair they rade, till they came to sight of a very big and bonny castle. "Yonder me maun be this night," quoth the bull, "for my old brother lives yonder." And presently they were at the place. They lifted her off his back, and took her in, and sent her away to the park at the night. In the morning, when they brought the bull home, they took the lady in the fine shining parlour, and gave her a beautiful apple, and taking her note to break it, till she was the greatest strait ever mortal in the world, and that would bring her out of it. Again she was lifted on the bull's back, and after she had ridden far and farther than I can tell, they came to the sight of a far bonnier castle, and far farther away than the last. Says the bull to her, "Yonder be mon for the night. Me second birth lives yonder." And they were at the place directly. They lifted her down and took her in, and sent the bull to the field for the night. In the morning they took the lady to a fine and rich room, and gave her the finest pair she'd ever seen, bidding her not to break it, till she was in the greatest strait of ever mortal toil she be in. And with that they let her out again. Again she was lifted and set on the back, and away they went. And lang they gaed, and sae they rade, till they came sight of a far bigger castle, and the farther aft they went to seen. We maun be yonder there tonight, said the bull, for my young brother lives yonder. And they went there directly. They lifted her down and took her in, and sent the bull to the field for the night. In the morning they took her into a room, and the finest and gildest of her plum, telling her not to break it till she was in the greatest strife mortal could be in, and that would get her out of it. Presently they brought home the bill, and set the lady on his back, and away they went. And they gaed, and on they rode, till they came into a dark and loathsome glen, where they stopped, and the lady lighted down. Says the bull to her, Here ye man till I gang and fight the deil. Ye man yourself on the sand, and move neither hand nor feet till I come back, or else I'll never find ye again. And everything around them turned blue, and he hated the deil. But should things turn red, he'll have conquered me. She sat herself down on the stand, and by around it turned blue. Overcome with joy, she lifted up the feet and crossed over to the other side, glad that her companion was victorious. The bull returned and sought for her, but never could find her. Lang she sat, and aye she scat, till she wearied. At last she raised and galled, and the kindle her twirl. On she wandered till she came to a great hill of grass. That she tried as she could to climb, but wasna able. Round the bottom of the hill she gaed, sobbing and weeping and seeking passage over, till at last she came to a smith's house. And the smith promised, if she had served him 7 years, and would make her an iron shoon, wherewith she climb over the grassy hill. At 7 years' end she got her iron shoon, climbed the grassy hill, and chanced to come to old washerwife's habitation. There she was told the gallant young knights had given her the Blundy sarks to wash, and whoever washes the sarks was to be his wife. And the old wife had washed till she was tired, and then she went to sit her doctor, who both washed, and they washed better, in hopes of getting the young knight. But they could do nothing to bring out the stain. At length they set the stranger damsel to work, and whenever she began the stains came out pure and clean. But the old wife made the knight believe it was her daughter who washed the sarks. So the knight and the eldest doctor were to be married, and the stranger damsel was distracted by the thought of it, for she was deeply in love with him. So she bethought her of apple and breaking it, found it filled with gold and precious jewellery, the richest she had ever seen. All these, she said to the oldest daughter, I will give to you on condition that you will pull off your marriage for the day, and allow me to go into his room alone at night. So the lady consented, and meanwhile the old wife had prepared a sleeping drink, and given it to the knight, who drank it, and never wakened till the morning. And the lee-lang sang, and the damsel sobbed a sang. 7 lang years I served for thee, the glassy hill I climbed for thee, the Blundy shirt I rang for thee, and wilt thou not waken and turn to me? The next day she came to want for the old grief, for then she brak the pear, and found it with jewellery far richer than the contents of the apple. Without jewels she begged for permission to have a second night with the knight's chamber, and the old wife gave him another sleeping drink, and again he slept till the morning. At night she kept singing and sighing. 7 long years I served for thee, the glassy hill I climbed for thee, the bloody shirt I rang for thee. Wilt thou not waken and turn to me? Still he slept, and she nearly lost hope altogether. But that day when she was out a hunting, somebody asked him what the noise and moaning was yonder they heard last night in his bedchamber. He had heard nothing, any noise. But they assured him there was I, and he was resolved to keep waking that night to try till he could hear. That being the third night, and the damsel being between hope and despair, she brake her plum, and it held the far richest jewellery of the three. She bargained as before, and the old wife, as before, took a sleeping drink to the young knight's chamber. But he told her he could not drink it that night without sweetening, and when she gaed away for honey to sweeten it, he poured out the drink, and she made the old wife think that he had drunk it. They away went to bed, and the damsel began, as before, singing, 7 long years I served for thee, the glassy heel I claimed for thee, the bloody shirt I rang for thee, wilt thou not waken and turn to me? He heard, and he turned to her, and she told him all that had befallen her, and he had told her that would happen to him, and he caused the old washerwife and her daughter to be burned. And they were married, and he and she lived happily all the day. Back in Forgan again.